What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the tavern. I'm Spencer,
And I'm Eli. Heidi ho there.
and this is Bardic Blunders. And today we got a few interesting things to talk about. We're gonna end up griping about D&D some more. Uh, but first, we're gonna talk about a video game that's done terribly. The new Dragon Age game. I don't know if you've seen any of this. Uh, the new
See, here's the thing. I normally hear about video games when they do very well. And if I'm not hearing about them, that means they did terrible.
Oh, you see, I'm surprised you didn't hear about it because it is doing horribly. it is impressive how bad that game is. Uh, so hold on, I just realized I forgot to do the Discord thing. Okay. Uh, so basically, if anybody hasn't seen the Dragon Age games before, they're RPGs where you can direct your whole party, and it kind of blends real time combat with like strategic combat. So like you can tell your party
It's
members
like
what to
Baldur's
do.
Gate.
It's like Baldur's Gate, yes, but instead of like turn based, it'll stop. You can go, okay, I want you to do this, you to do this, you to do this, and then it proceeds like the Final Fantasy VII remaster, where it's more like open combat. Um,
Yeah.
Very interesting. I've never played any of the games myself. I wouldn't mind playing them, but uh, the new one came out, Dragon Age Veilguard, and oh boy, it looks terrible. So we're not even going to touch on most of the political stuff, uh, although some of it is a little, weird. But the guy that I was watching talk about it said he had a character who was like, what was it? They go hard or something like that, using modern slang in a game set in like medieval times. And it's like, I don't know. That's not a good, unless you're trying to play it up for a joke where you got one character who's just like, on God, fam, he showed some real riz for real, for real. Like, unless you're going over the top with it for a joke character, it's like,
The funniest part is I love those characters.
see, like, and that could be funny. I don't know if Dragon Age does that kind of thing. If that, would be sacrilege to Dragon Age fans. Like, how dare you put a joke character in our game? But, I mean, it's just like, uh, something like Face McShooty from Borderlands. Obviously, Borderlands is a very different game, but still, Tina from Borderlands with all of her slang that she throws in. But Borderlands is also not set in a medieval setting that I presume is supposed to be more serious. So to hear voice lines like that, it's just like, what was the other one that he said? She goes like, eat shit colonizer or something like that. And it's just like, what is the writing? What is the writing for this? Like, what are we doing? It literally sounds like somebody's self insert character, which I think, did we talk about that at some point?
What,
I,
self-insert characters?
I can't remember if that was an on podcast discussion or an off podcast discussion
I think it
because
might have been an off podcast because I don't remember sitting in my big comfy chair talking about it.
that's fair. Because I hate self insert characters. Especially when they're done very, very poorly. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's blatantly obvious that they're poorly written and it's somebody trying to stick themselves into a story. And it's like, this is supposed to be me and I'm going to make myself look cool. It's just like, bro, shut up. it's stupid. You make yourself look stupid. You ruin the content. It's annoying. But to brush that off to the side, the gameplay is downright horrendous. Uh, so if you had to guess how a healing system in an RPG would work, how would you think? Just throw out a couple of ideas.
Okay, so let's start at the most basic. You roll a dice, you heal that much.
Right. That's very
That's like
tabletop.
that's tabletop. It's used in video games such as Baldur's Gate. It's used in video games such as KOTOR.
Right.
Um,
Now, what's the
you
next
have the
step up?
healing based on level,
Yeah.
which it's scaling used by League of Legends. It's used by WoW. It's used by Darkest Dungeon. It's used by stuff like that.
But they use healing spells. It's like you hit
Yeah,
a
it's
button
like
and this thing heals you. And then you
yeah,
have things like Dark Souls, where it's like, here's a potion.
yep, potions. It's
Take the
still
potion.
like it's set. It's fixed heal. So you have RNG healing. You have fixed healing. You have scaling healing. Um,
Yeah, and
trying to think of other ways to heal.
this isn't even getting
You
into
have,
the more complex ones, like Bloodborne has, I forget what they call it, but basically, if you get hit and you hit the enemy back, you can regain a portion of the damage you've taken.
oh, that's retaliation healing. That is a thing done in Bloodborne and Doom.
Doom. Yes, that's right. Doom does it too.
It's very popular in Doom, and it makes a lot of sense in Doom because of what you're doing.
Exactly. And then there's healing based off of damage, like you would get Vladimir from League of Legends, or things like Leech Life or Giga Drain from Pokemon. Where you're
Those
healing the damage that you do to the enemy.
so that falls into either scaling healing or RNG healing.
Right.
Because those are just abilities that heal you for dealing damage.
Exactly. So Dragon Age Veilguard lays a bunch of green pots everywhere. And you just have to stop in the middle of combat to run and find a green pot, and you break it and it heals you. And then you can go back to fighting. It's like a mobile game.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do something like that, do it kind of like how God of War did it.
See, but even God of War gave you health drops for killing enemies.
Yeah. And on top of that, you had the rage meter that you could use to give yourself more health.
Exactly. That's, yeah, there's things like that it's like, okay, yeah, having a pot off to the side in the fight that you can go and break to get some healing. That's fine. Kingdom Hearts does that. Where it's like, I'm in the middle of a fight, and say again?
Zelda does that.
Zelda does that. Yeah, exactly. Let me go break this thing. Here's a heart. Borderlands does it with, okay, you're fighting a big boss. Here's some ads. If you go down, you can kill the ad to bring yourself back up. It's not healing in the same sense, but that there is health drops from healing. There's crates for ammo that can have healing in it. You know, there's all that kind of thing. But to make the only healing mechanic just, oh, there's a green pot over there, go break that.
I don't like that at all.
Grind combat to a halt to go and break that pot if you want to get health. And then there was a puzzle mechanic. I say puzzle. It's hardly a puzzle. I think my nephew would be able to solve all of them, because it's literally, here's a bunch of crystals. They keep this door closed. You just have to break all the crystals. And sometimes you have to break them in order. Spyro had more complex puzzles than that. Like that is seriously asinine.
The stupid Bikini Bottom game that you had like a hard time playing.
I had a hard time. Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, had more complex puzzles than that.
Right. I love you say that I had a hard time playing when there was one individual collectible that bothered me, and other than that, the game was fine. But, anyways, yeah, it is bad. Let's see. Dragon Age of Veilguard. What's its current rating on Steam? Somehow mostly positive.
Because people like Dragon Age. That's something I will say, that Dragon Age is extremely popular, like much like The Witcher. It's extremely popular in the fact that it's an RPG game. It's mostly favored by single guys, you know.
Right. So let's see. If you want to be coddled and lectured, this is a great game for you. After every combat, one of the NPCs will blow smoke up your ass for your stellar performance. Good combat, pretty visuals, long way away from the Dragon Age I once knew. Story and dialogue feels flat. Wait until there's a sale if you want to pick this one up. It's kind of whatever so far. I really can't stand most of the companions. Gameplay itself is actually not too bad, and I found the combat much more enjoyable than I did Dragon Age Inquisition. Really? Because
Dragon Age Inquisition, I did not have a good time playing.
Again, I can't say, like, I've not touched any of the Dragon Age games, so I don't know how they play. But from what I've been hearing from, like, actual Dragon Age fans is most of them are like, this sucks compared to the other two. It's Inquisition and Origins.
Origins was good. I will say this. I had fun playing Origins. It was actually good. Inquisition is, from the very beginning, it's a slog. And there is no, like, hey, this is the, like, you know how the pre-logs and, like, this is setting you up, you know?
Right.
Did none of that. Did none of that.
What's up, group? Dragon Age the Veilguard is a lot like Mass Effect Andromeda. Arguably the best combat in the series, stunning graphics and environmental design, and never feels cumbersome to actually play. But also like Andromeda, Veilguard suffers from abysmal, sterilized, and insultingly safe writing, little to no actual ability to shape your character's personality, and a complete disconnection to choices and events of past games in the series, which made sense for Andromeda with the whole switching galaxies thing. Veilguard almost feels afraid to mention any of the past games in a meaningful way.
See, that's okay. I want to talk about this really quick. If you're gonna do a goddamn sequel, do a sequel right.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, and especially when these franchises have been built off of the choices from the past games matter. Like the person said, at least Andromeda was in a completely different galaxy, so that makes sense, but I also think that's just a bad decision unless you want to start a whole new trilogy. Like, yeah. I'll be real. Mass Effect, not for me. I tried to play Mass Effect, and I really didn't care. I was like, love the gameplay of it, and while all this dialogue could be interesting, I might be more...
Jesus, you just jumped all over the place.
What do you mean?
Like, you were talking, and you were gone, and then you were talking again.
Okay. But
I will say this. I was paid to write an article about the Mass Effect trilogy and if it was holding up right before Andromeda came out. And I went through and played all 3 Mass Effect games in order, completionist style. And I hated it. And I explained in that article that they need to make the combat not clunky.
That was my problem with it. Like, the characters could have been interesting, but I really didn't... I really didn't care to play through the game to get to more dialogue and more story stuff.
I also managed to... every single game, I managed to accidentally murderize half the crew.
That's hilarious.
Because I always made the worst choices. I was like, I don't care. I'm just playing these games just to get through the stupid ass story.
I think Andromeda did have really big graphical issues at the beginning. I don't know that it was necessarily that it looked bad. I think there was just a lot of tearing and
It had the same problem that Cyberpunk did.
yeah. It's
But
like
now Cyberpunk is regarded as one of the best games, so it's kind of like, uh,
it got fixed. Andromeda didn't.
yeah.
But I think BioWare is also just in the can as a company. Uh, Writing is terrible. The companions talk like villagers in Stardew Valley or similar casual sims. Cutesy conversations about nothing. The writers are killing the lore built over previous 3 Dragon Age games. There's no atmosphere, sense of urgency, immersion. If you felt truly invested in characters or story from previous Dragon Age games, this game will actively invalidate your previous choices and make your story meaningless.
That's funny.
It is okay as a generic action RPG, but as a part of this series, it is terrible.
So one of the best 2-game series that I've ever played was the OG KOTOR and KOTOR 2, Knights of the Old Republic. The first game, amazing. Just on its own, standalone, amazing. The second game, wow. The second game is you're all about your first protagonist's apprentice who's trying to fix the wrongs in the galaxy, and you're chasing your original protagonist across the galaxy.
So, you're gonna hate me.
You've never played them.
Nope.
You need to go play them. You need to stream yourself playing them because it is some of the best writing in Star Wars history.
All right.
Every single character you will fall in love with. Every single character is amazingly written. Okay, they're a little bit troped nowadays, but like you have to view the game like, hey, when did KOTOR come out?
Sounds like a pretty bad game. I don't think you should play it. Yeah, thanks, group.
You have to understand that the original KOTOR came out in 03, and the second one came out in 04. But I think you would really enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll look at them. I've wanted to play them before. I just never jumped to it. Okay, I need to read the TLDR for this person's review. It's a reality-inducing hammer kick to the balls of the last hopeful BioWare fans. FEA and F whatever fungus is currently operating the decomposing corpse of BioWare. They then give a massive paragraph. Like I say paragraph, it's like an essay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs of why this game is bad, and then a little note at the end. Also, suck my balls if you say this game is not for Dragon Age fans. It's an effing Dragon Age game.
Wow. That's kind of funny.
Why? Okay, that's another thing. A little quick side tangent. What is the trend with, oh, hey, here's a thing in this series. It's not for fans of this series. Then why are you making it? Are you just doing it to piss us off? Is that why you do it? Do you want to try and poke at the people who like these games? Or are you trying to like what's the purpose? Oh, it's not for you. Then who is it for?
I don't, dude, ever since like the Western culture has gotten so big that it's like inhaling everything else in video game development is ruined video games.
Yeah, honestly. Oh, wow. Both KOTOR games are only $10.
Yeah.
Ooh, but I
And
can buy the
it's
Star Wars Complete Collection bundle for $220.
why would you do that?
Oh, let's see. Bundle info. What's in this bundle? Battlefront 2, okay. Republic Commando, alright. Star Wars Starfighter, cool. KOTOR, Star Wars Dark Forces, already got that one. Uh, Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, okay. Star Wars Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith, interesting. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, The Force Unleashed, Star Wars Empire at War, The Force Unleashed 2,
Oh wow.
Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, KOTOR 2, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Galactic Battlegrounds, X-Wing Alliance, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, Rebellion, Rogue Squadron, Rebel Assault 1 and 2, Episode 1 Racer. Oh, dude, that's on Steam? I actually want that. And then Battlefront Classic. For a cheap $220.
Mine's $202.
Oh, which games do you have?
I have KOTOR 1 and 2 and Knights of the Old Republic Commandos.
Fair enough.
Which, I will say this, is extremely hard to play. Because it's made for old school controllers.
Oh, okay. Dude, if you could play Episode 1 Racer online, that would be phenomenal. You can't.
Where would the fun be in life if we could?
Oh, okay. I was like, when I was a kid, for some reason, I thought that Knights of the Old Republic was an MMO. And that's because there's Star Wars The Old Republic, which is an MMO.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Which expands on the story of those two games.
Okay. Yeah, I thought those were. I'm gonna be real. When I was younger, I thought they were an MMO. They were just parts of an MMO because of that. Okay, I now see why I had that confusion. Anyways, new fan base. Hearthstone started life as a spin-off from LoL, but that game. Oh well, I think Hearthstone was.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know why I paused for so long. Yeah, Hearthstone was WoW.
But League of Legends was also WoW.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember playing the precursor to League of Legends in WoW. World of actually no, it was Warcraft 2, I believe.
Okay. But then League makes Teamfight Tactics, and what's the other one?
I don't fucking know.
Wasn't there another? Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, but see, I think that's different. If you squint hard enough, I was correct. I think that's different though, Group, because that's the idea of like I'm not interested in Teamfight Tactics. I'm not interested in League anymore, but even when I was playing League, I really didn't care about Teamfight Tactics. But I'm sure there are other people who liked League who also like Teamfight Tactics, or people who didn't like League, but they liked Teamfight Tactics.
Teamfight Tactics to League.
It wasn't my thing.
Just because I don't have to pay attention to the game. That's my biggest problem, is I'll get distracted in a game of League of Legends and the game's over. And it's like, this is dumb. But Teamfight Tactics, I could just be like, okay, well, I wasn't paying attention for 2 rounds and nothing really changed.
See, my problem with League of Legends is just like I don't want to deal with the toxicity.
Yeah.
You make one bad play and everybody on your team is like, "Oh, you dumb, you stupid, you suck, and I hate you, and it's your fault we lost." It's just like, I don't want to do that, man.
Don't you miss playing with me and Alex, where we would just fuck around all night?
See, that would be fun, but it would still there would still be an element of like, okay, we still have two other jackasses on our team who are gonna chime in. Point being, it wasn't made for WoW fans. There might be overlap, but you shouldn't expect it to be the same kind of game despite branding. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Dragon Age Veilguard is an RPG, just like Dragon Age Inquisition and Origins and all the other Dragon Age games. It's an RPG. It was supposed to be the same as the other ones. Like for example, the Velma TV show. That has universally hated. But what were they saying leading up to it? Oh, this isn't like for Scooby-Doo fans. It's not going to be like Scooby-Doo. Then why did you pick Scooby-Doo to base it off of?
Yeah.
It like you just basically said, let's take Scooby-Doo and ruin all of the characters. Oh, wait, why does nobody like this? It's because the people who see it and don't like Scooby-Doo are going to look at it and go, oh, that's Scooby-Doo. I don't like Scooby-Doo. I'm not going to watch that. And the people who do like Scooby-Doo watch it and they're like, this sucks, this isn't Scooby-Doo.
Now, take a look at Star Trek Lower Decks.
See, that works out differently.
Because that was a huge thing where I watched it as a Star Trek fan and went, this is hysterical. I love this. I love Star Trek as is, but this is funny. This is a much more grown-up humor to it. And, like, it's a comedy.
Right.
It's not based around, whatchamacallit. It's not based around, like, the Borg are coming. It's much more just, like, a slice of life, really. But it's just having fun and doing stuff.
But they don't say, oh, this isn't for Star Trek fans. They still intend it to be for Star Trek fans. You probably don't have to love Star Trek to enjoy it, because it probably
that
would
was
still
the big
be funny.
thing, is it pulled in a lot of people who weren't Star Trek fans.
Right. And that's the thing. Every time I see something, like I see a project and they're like, oh, well, this isn't for fans of every other thing this property has had to deal with, I ignore it because I know it's gonna suck. Not only is it such a stupid idea to say, hey, we're making a thing in this world, but it's not for the people who like this world. You're just alienating everybody right off the bat. But I also know you're a terrible writer and you're going to put out some piece of crap that even if I didn't care about this world, I would still hate because it sucks.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing that. I see that here and again where, you know, what was it? It was something. It was one of the things where they replaced an all male cast with an all female cast, like Ghostbusters. And they were like,
yeah, but the Ghostbusters one was funny.
I didn't find it funny.
I loved that movie.
It
was so dumb to me, and I loved it.
See, it was dumb to me too, but it was just like, why am I watching this?
But I love dumb things.
But
AKA why I want a Cybertruck.
Yeah, okay. I don't think we need to trust your judgment on anything. But yeah, it wasn't the idea of like, oh, well, you just hate women. That was what so many people were saying. It was like, if you didn't like the game or the Ghostbusters movie, you just hated women. Like, I don't hate women. I enjoy comedy. That movie was not funny. At least to me. Like, you know what? If you found it funny, more power to you. I'm glad you found enjoyment in something I couldn't. But it wasn't because it was women. But it was one of those things where I don't remember what it was. Because I remember looking at it and they were rebooting it with a full female cast, and I'm like, okay, we're doing this again? But like, all right, whatever. What do we have? And then one of the actresses or somebody behind the project was like, "Oh, this isn't gonna be for the men who like the original one." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
AKA, we're writing a terrible product." Like, that's immediately what you told me is this is not going to be an actual decent property. It's going to be you going, girl power. like like the scene the scene from Avengers Endgame.
oh yeah.
The one that our old boss at the pizza place had an argument with his wife about. Because, where all the female characters like weirdly pose in the middle of battle, like all of the battle stops and they're just like, yeah, women, and then it's like, all right, cool.
I would not have had a problem with that scene if Black Widow hadn't died.
I would have had a problem. I wouldn't have had a problem with it if they did it before the fight. But the fact that it was just like, all right, everybody stop the whole battlefield so all the female heroes can get into one shot and have a cool pose. Like, it's not like Iron Man landing into battle in his, his superhero landing or anything like that. It wasn't, oh, the hero has their triumphant arrival and they stand in their cool pose for a couple of seconds. Like, it was, let's get every single female hero from across the entire battlefield to all gather in this one spot for no reason. That was what got me about it. Because it, like, you know what? If Captain Marvel lands and she does her little thing, like a little pose, like, okay, yeah, fine. Any of the other characters do it? Sure. If they do it before the fight, awesome. Great.
My problem with Endgame was it was like they were trying to cram so many cameos into one thing.
Right. People overreacted big time. Doctor Who gender swapping. Yes, I did. Yeah, I haven't watched Doctor Who. I want to. I kind of want to just to see if I'm. It's that curiosity. But
So my problem with Doctor Who is I went back and I was like, I'm gonna go watch it. And I went back and watched like the OG Doctor Who.
I think
And I was like,
haven't we talked about this before? Because wasn't it you and your mom that watched Doctor Who together?
yeah, we watched the original Doctor Who first season together, and we were both like, man, this sucks. Because it's all British humor. It's not American humor because it hadn't been.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely, I'm sure.
C group, that's where I think I made my mistake, is I did not go for like the newer Doctor Who's. I went for like the old one where I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
See, my mom loved the fourth Doctor, I think, but she also lived in Australia at the time.
Yeah.
Which she would have been around a lot more of that British humor. Now, I'm not going to say anything about British humor because I love Monty Python. I love like Top Gear is the British Top Gear is absolutely hilarious.
Never seen it.
Dude, it's literally just three guys like building cars and like they launch one out of a trebuchet at some point and oh my gosh, it's so stupid, but it's such an entertaining show. I haven't watched a lot of it, but there's a couple of them, like, what if they build a car out of mud? It's like, how much does a car weigh? Quite a lot. No, how much does it weigh, James? And he's like, give me a unit of weight. Tons. 5. Like it's so perfect, but
that weighs as much as the food truck I ran. And that thing was like 20
they were like
30 feet long.
They're like, your tires look a little bit flat, and he's like, nope, they're pumped up as high as they can go. It is so funny. Now, of course, I don't know if the OG Doctor Who is going to have the same, like, modern British humor is funny.
Yeah, it was
Obviously,
old British humor.
obviously Monty Python isn't necessarily modern because what? Holy Grail came out in the 80s?
Yeah, but Monty Python started the modern British humor.
That's
If you
fair.
think
That's
about it.
fair. That's fair. I can't argue
And
that.
I'm cool with that, but the old Doctor Who was all the old British
That
humor.
was in like the
so
50s, wasn't the first?
yeah, like I didn't understand it.
Wait, I have to actually, I think it was in the 50s. Doctor Who season 1, 1963. So yeah.
Yeah, like what I don't know any of that.
Then he started losing pieces at a quick rate. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. But yeah, the thing, the problem I have, like what you mentioned with the most recent Doctor Who season, is there are absolutely people who freak out and they're like, "Oh, it's a woman. It's gonna suck because it's a woman." And yeah, 100%, there are people that do that. But the car was not 3 tons by the end of the episode. I don't think I've seen the full episode. I need to watch the full thing because it was just that one clip made me actually go watch an episode of Top Gear because the timing on it was so perfect. And like it had me cackling. I'm like, okay, I need to actually see what this is about. And it's pretty funny. It's admittedly really enjoyable. I don't like watching a lot of network television or any of that kind of stuff, but that is funny. Top Gear is funny. But anyways, I think there's an equal amount of people who go, I don't like this thing, and then the people who do like it, or people who are just trying to defend it for one reason or another, go, oh, you don't like it because it's a woman. It's like, no, there are people like that, 100%. I won't deny that, but I don't like it because it's bad. It's just like the recent Star Wars trilogy. I don't like it because it's bad. I don't care that Rey's a woman. I don't like Finn either. And it's not because he's black. It's because they're poorly written characters. Kylo Ren is the only character in that entire trilogy who's even semi-decently written, and that includes the carryover characters like Han, Leia, and Luke. I think all of them are very poorly written. But even Kylo is very whiny, and I don't like the way they take his whole character arc. It's like, have you seen the clip where Jeremy talks about turning a hedgehog into a side mirror? I haven't. I need to go find that now. But, anyways, I hate whenever they try and run interference for the thing they like, or, quite often people don't actually like the thing. They're just trying to start arguments on the internet, which is equally nonsensical. But anyway, yeah, we can get off that now. We can talk about your D&D gripe, or should we get the Stardew stuff out of the way first? Because the D&D stuff might take up the rest of the episode.
Okay, let's do the Stardew stuff.
Okay.
Stardew had a new patch come out this week. It had to be yesterday.
It's recent, November 4th.
And then today there were patches on it.
Yeah. So yeah, they just Concerned Ape just announced a couple of the things that were in this new update, which finally brought Stardew to consoles. So that's awesome. 1.6 rather to consoles.
Yep.
Stardew Valley's 1.6.9 update is installed. Players who've unlocked an lost and unique item will find a special shop now materializes in the secret woods at midnight. Items that can't be reobtained any other way will be available to purchase here for 10,000 gold. The clip is called Hammond Protects His New Friends. Okay. His new friend. Okay, gotcha. I'll look that up after. Elsewhere, the players can output legendary fish in fish ponds, albeit with the limit of 1 per pound. They will produce legendary fish roe, with fish having unique watercolor. There are new Easter eggs, dialogue tweaks, JojaMart work portraits for Sam and Shane, and the ability to place beds and sleep in any constructed building as long as they permit furniture. Does that mean you can buy the mayor's underwear? I certainly hope
Yes.
so.
Yes, you can.
Additionally, objects dropped in water now float, meaning there's a short time to retrieve them. So if you drop something near the water or you cut down a tree near the water, you at least
You can actually get the stuff.
Yes, you have time to
You
grab
have a
it.
chance. Yeah, I mean, quality of life is basically what this is.
That on top of balance changes in quality of life updates, including improved automatic save game recovery and tweaks that'll resend most achievements, recipes, and important mail if players manage to miss them.
Okay, yeah, it's just all quality of life stuff,
Right.
and that I'm cool with that. It's about time Stardew got some quality of life. I understand that. It's coming to consoles, and consoles are a little bit more lacking when it comes to like commands and stuff that you can input compared to PC.
Right.
So I understand. I get it. I'm glad that that PC is also getting this quality of life update. Makes me feel like Stardew's gonna be. I mean, you don't have to stress as much about Stardew.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. It's the same thing. Like, why have they added hardcore mode onto Bedrock Edition when you can just die on Bedrock Edition in Minecraft for like nothing? You can just be walking around and a glitch will just kill you.
Yep. I gotta love Bedrock. Bedrock, normal difficulty is the equivalent to hardcore Java.
Hardcore Java, right?
That's terrible. That's frightening. But yeah, I'm cool with this. I'm happy that Stardew's getting got 1.6.9 update. What?
I just found that clip. One of the guys is driving a car that's made out of like bamboo and leaves and everything. And a hedgehog just ends up in the car, and the other guy's like, you can make a side mirror out of him. He's like, no, you're not gonna do that. It's like, hedgehogs die. Oh gosh, that show's fantastic. Anyways,
DnD.
D&D. So you informed me whenever I hopped into the call today that you were angry at the new edition of D&D again, because when will we ever stop being angry at this new edition of D&D?
The new DMG is coming.
Lovely. What did they do?
Included in the DMG, you have all your charts for like equipment and stuff, like magic items. Boom. Normal DMG stuff. You have like settings stuff. It has pre-done adventures that you can just start your campaign in. Very nice. Very easy. I'm cool with those.
Okay.
However, it also has setting information for like if you want to play in Eberron or if you want to play in Faerun. Stuff like that.
Not bad.
My problem. Bastions.
Bastions?
A new chapter being added to the 2024 DMG is dedicated to Bastions, a new system where players can build their own base of operations and run it with help from hirelings. Whether your players are clearing out an ancient fortress so they can move in, renovating an old wizard's tower, or pitching in to buy a tavern together, they'll find countless possibilities for customizing their stronghold.
Okay, so it's attempting to make a official structure for player homes.
Yeah, the group. I do have a problem with this. Let's pull up the page. Strongholds and followers.
Oh. Is it did they like copy it word for word?
Yep.
Yep.
From a book that was put out 5 years ago.
That sounds about right. Yep,
Okay.
Matt Colville's.
They have stolen so much from Matt Colville that I understand. Like, give me the same thing but different is a very common thing when it comes to writing. So I understand that whole thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, though.
But if you're gonna steal something word for word and then just tweak it slightly, that's just plagiarism, man.
I was gonna say that's plagiarism.
Okay, This comes from the page on Strongholds and Followers. Raise armies, research spells, spy on your enemies. More than just a set of rules and charts, this book also describes a style of play that assumes your character becomes more interested in influencing the world around them. You still adventure and fight monsters, but this supplement gives you a ton of fun things to do during your downtime. It only takes one character building a stronghold to radically change the nature of a campaign and introduce a new narrative opportunities for GMs and players alike. Huge story opportunities arise. This book has tons of examples for GMs to inspire them.
It's literally the "can I copy your homework? Yeah, but don't make it look the same" meme.
Okay, now a bastion can be any structure that a character could use as a base of operations. Benefits. A bastion offers a plethora of mechanical and roleplay benefits. In addition to each special faculty's various mechanical plots, the bastion allows players to create their own home for their adventures. This can be a good way to anchor them to a town, city, or some other important location and gives them breathing room to set down roots and engage with the world around them.
Sup, Zucchini? Yeah, so that is pretty much a word for word.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's freaking close.
Oh man, dude. I was reading this beforehand, and oh man, dude, it's like no shit, just word for word.
That's so bad. That's such a bad look, D&D Wizards. Not like they've been known to make good decisions.
And guess what?
Let's be clear. They've made a lot of bad decisions recently.
Oh, it gets better. Strongholds and
remember.
followers. They the in Strongholds and Followers, you can level up your base. You can put more resources into it and make it stronger. Like, you start out with a little building and slowly build it bigger. you
Right.
know? You can do the same thing in this, except it goes off of your level. Dude, I just
That yeah, no, it makes sense. It like that.
and hirelings just it's the same thing as followers.
Yeah, that's a bad look for
It,
Wizards. Unfortunately, because they changed it up enough, there's probably not anything
and Matt Colville
that
doesn't care. He
MC.
made it as a supplement for
I mean, yeah, it was supposed to be a supplement for 5e, of course, and he's making his own RPG now, so why would he care? But
yeah.
it does kind of suck.
Um I also love the fact that I'm scrolling through this and I'm like, oh man, it has a table that's almost identical to one of the tables of Strongholds of Followers.
Jeez, dude, have they no shame?
Or my favorite, you know lair effects
Yeah.
that certain monsters have? Bastions give those for you and your party.
What?
Yep. But so does Strongholds and Followers. Like, as a cleric, you build a temple and you constantly have hollow going on. You can basically make it hollowed ground.
Okay.
And you can do the same thing in this. So I was just like, you're joking me, right? This just hurts me looking at it. I flipped on YouTube had autoplay and it turned on this chick talking about bastions and I was like, okay. I'm sitting there listening to it. I'm like, this sounds a lot like Strongholds and Followers. I'm still listening. I'm like, it sounds more like it. It finishes playing. Next video that comes on, Strongholds and Followers.
Yep.
And I was like, you're joking me, right?
Oh, dude.
I was hurt. I was hurt deep in.
Well, yeah, it's
I don't mind like, hey, that's a cool idea, but I have a different way of doing it.
well, that's the whole of what D&D like homebrew stuff is founded on.
Yeah.
There's a number of things that they put into the regular rules that people are just like, nah, I'm not gonna do it that way, fam. We're gonna do it my way, and it makes it more fun.
Yeah, I just
What sin have the D&D people committed for wizards to start their evil origin arc? I don't know, man. I don't know why Wizards is so content to piss off any fan of any property they have. It's like, yeah, I want to screw over everybody who enjoys D&D and everybody who enjoys Magic the Gathering and
so one of the funniest things I've ever heard was a story told by Matt Colville. Wizards of the Coast contacted him and wanted him to come out for a D&D thing that they were doing, a big D&D event
uh-huh.
where they were going to have celebrities who liked D&D play D&D at tables and record it and post it. Matt Colville shows up, he's at the airport, they pull up a limo for him. He gets in, he's sitting in a limo, he's a nobody, by the way. He's regarded as a nobody in so many in at that time because not a lot of people knew him. He gets in the limo and there's like big celebrities in this limo. And he's just being quiet because he's like, I'm out of my social level. Like this is taking me all the way to the top.
Right.
And he's just like talking, he's generating the small talk and conversation, and then somebody I think it was the chick who played the love interest in Daredevil, Foggy's love interest.
Oh, Karen Page. I don't know her real name, but
She was like, "Well, who are you, Matt?" And another Joe Mandela was like, I think that's his name. I
No,
probably messed it up.
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, was like, no. He's like, this guy right here is the best DM ever. This guy, and he went on a whole rant, and Matt Koval's sitting there like, I feel really out of place. I don't think I have ever been talked of in this high of level before by somebody so famous. And he's like, really, I'm not that big of a deal. I'm just like a guy who tried to teach people. I did all the onboarding stuff for DMs in D&D 5e. And they're like, yeah, you're the best DM ever. You taught so many people how to play. You got so many people interested in the game. And he's just like, okay.
Sure.
And he went and did the thing and he went home and he was like, I have to make a video on this because one, super cool. Two, I was scared.
Yeah, yeah, like Group said, I'd be pissing myself in that situation. Like, dude, I didn't know how to react when I was younger and I went to a MegaCon. I was dressed as Daryl from The Walking Dead and went up to Norman Reedus and he was like, "Dude, you look badass." And I was like, "Thank you." I'm like, how do I respond to that? I couldn't imagine sitting down in a limo and having a celebrity just absolutely
Ooh,
lavish me with
celebrities.
praise.
Yeah, this is the whole thing. It's like, what was that? My phone?
Yes.
You sent me a message.
No, I didn't.
Son of a bitch. It was my father.
Ooh, who'd have
Where
thought?
is my phone? He sent me a video about a Gengar D20. Okay. Hold on. Podcast can wait. I gotta go watch this.
All
Hold
right.
on.
Eli's putting our podcast on halt so we can
If
look
it
up
ever loads.
a video about a Gengar D20. Yeah, that's fantastically on brand.
Yes, I know what phone I'm connected to, your bud. Just play!
Oh boy.
Anyway,
I
it
wish I
won't
had a
play.
thing to just set up the.
Anyway. But no, it's like Matt Colville was so influential on the D&D community. Like, shit. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me go find his page on YouTube. Matt Colville. He is at almost 500,000 subs. He's at 452,000.
Mm-hmm.
When I started watching, he was like under 1,000. So I was like, oh man. I was like, oh man. This is cool and all. I watched so much of his stuff, like the capital and world building. That was so cool to me. My most watched video of his, I can scroll. God, I gotta scroll really far back for this. Um, um, um. I gotta find it. This, I will. I swear by bad guys running the game.
Right. Yeah.
I swear by that episode.
Well, he's written so many things. Like that's what helped me as a DM. I learned how to DM from watching his things.
Oh yeah.
You were the one who set me on him. Like
Heh.
this is the guy
I
to watch if you want to.
learn how to DM. I need this. I need this.
What do you need?
I need these dice.
Oh, you got the video to load.
They're only $50.
Only.
I don't want to spend $50 on a set of dice though.
Yeah, I can understand. Most people wouldn't.
Grr. Okay. Anyhow, back to the podcast.
Good grief.
Listen, man.
I'm the one that has ADHD. How are you getting distracted? Oh boy.
I honestly, I really have to, I do find it funny because if you do go and look at old Matt Colville videos, he
Mm-hmm.
looks very prim and proper like a D&D player would, and you start looking at the newer ones, and he's starting to gray out, and the color in his hair is starting to go.
Well, yeah, he's getting older. We all are.
Okay, yet it has been 12 years.
I was gonna say, you know, it's been a decade since the first time we played D&D together, right?
Has it really been a decade?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Soak it in, buddy. Time marches on.
Listen, man, all I know is it has been a decade. Shit. All I know is our D&D group has become a premier D&D group in our area, and it's really weird
so
to me.
weird because it's like it was nothing. Like it was just the friends, like the close group, and then we started bringing in some other people as people left, and we're like, ah, man, we're barely keeping this group together. And now we've got like 8 people. Like, hey, let me know when somebody leaves. And I'm like, okay.
That doesn't include, that's the people you work with. There are people at my job asking me about it.
Well, now we have former members too who are like, "Hey, I can call in." We're like, "Oh gosh."
It has gotten out of hand. We have a waiting list for D&D.
This is the weirdest. It's so much so that I'm about to start a second D&D night with people from work because all of them are talking about it.
I'm getting to the point where we should just start streaming D&D campaigns.
We need to. I want to do that so bad.
Like once a month, we sit down, we spend a day basically playing D&D.
By the time you're
On
25,
stream.
you've experienced half of your life. I hope to not die at 50.
Well, I mean, when you really think about it, being middle-aged is 37 years old, so...
Yeah. Yeah, that's 12 years from now.
That's 11 years from now for me. My birthday's creeping up on my ass.
I was gonna say. It's getting
I'm
real
less
close.
than 30 days away. Now that hurts me on the inside.
Time feels like it speeds up as you get older. Oh, that's fair, I guess.
Eh. It is what it is. I feel my days are extremely slow, except unless I'm working, because then they fly by.
That's funny. See, sometimes I'll be at work and it'll be like, "Gosh, what time is it?" And I look at the time and it's like 3:26, and I'm like, "Oh, cool. It's three. Like we're doing all right. We're doing all right." And then I look at the clock again and it's 2:55, and I'm like, "Huh? How do we go backwards?"
Uh, well, see, my job, because we work in different industries, basically.
Right.
Um, Yours is a lot more monotonous work, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah.
Where mine is just, as soon as somebody starts the fire, it's just hectic.
Well,
And then it's like,
at the same
okay,
time though,
3 hours just flew by.
there are some days where it's like it's the busy days when it's really busy and you
Yeah.
feel like you're behind the entire day, and it's like I have to get this my area finished before we close. And okay, I have 5 hours. Oh, I have three. Oh my gosh, we're about to close, and I feel like I haven't done anything.
Yeah. I
I like that
well,
idea, Greg.
Spencer is a coder. I bet there's be a way that he could code something that would roll dice for chat. Because
I
we'd have to go on roll 20, I
I was
believe.
gonna say roll 20, but I think that would just be Stream Elements stuff because you can do a lot of
Yeah.
chat integration with Stream Elements. I, I
Yeah.
I haven't looked into all that, so I don't know how most of it works, but I'm sure. I'm sure uh we could set something up.
Oh man, roll 20 has not been updated in years.
No.
Oh, that takes me back.
That's really funny.
That really takes me back. It's still the bright white screen.
Yep.
Haven't updated their logo.
I was gonna
Hmm.
say I was planning to do that if we do one for work, and I was like, I'm already fairly familiar with Roll20. I haven't used it in a while, but and I never did the DM stuff, but
Okay, I'm gonna open up roll 20.
you can make a command that rolls a dice any size in chat. Yeah.
Let's scroll down. The last time we used roll 20 was June 23rd, 2020.
Yep.
And that was the Disney campaign
Yeah.
that we ran.
During the
COVID.
lockdown.
Yep.
Sign. Do I still have a sign in? Don't suggest to use a strong password when I'm trying to sign in. I'm not creating an account, you dingus.
Okay. I have launched the OG campaign.
I know
No
that.
joke. I remember the OG campaign, we did everything on this.
Right. Oh no, I forgot my password.
Do I have any saved presets?
I was gonna say I want to see if
Oh, I do. Oh, man. Hold on, hold on. Collection. Oh, I have music put in here. What?
okay, I gotta
Map.
see this. Oh my gosh, all the old pictures.
Oh, this makes me feel old.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was the Even Stand the Adventure Begins, right?
Yep.
What did it say last played before you clicked on it? Because now it says last played 11/06/24.
It was like 2018. No, it was
Wow.
before that. It was like 26. I've been in here before.
Okay.
So that's definitely I used to come in and like check on things. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
is my
trying to
character
find
sheet in here?
portraits.
My freaking picture is the Goliath from Gargoyles?
Yeah, because that's who you were playing in.
In the Disney
Is this?
campaign. That's. No, I was playing Kronk. Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was Kronk.
Yeah, I can't figure out. It would take me a hot minute to refigure all of this stuff out.
I was going to say, I don't know where my character sheet would be. I know I had a physical character sheet that I lost. Ooh, dark mode. Turn that on immediately. Oh, it doesn't
You can
work.
turn on dark. I was rushing to figure out dark mode.
Yeah. 3 lines, top left corner. It unfortunately does not change the actual board. It only changes the menus.
Yeah. Well, that's a good blast from the past. I Yeah, we would have to use Roll20, right? Because I don't think there's any other way of doing like.
Tabletop sim, maybe?
We could do tabletop sim. You're gonna have to give me a bit to load up tabletop sim because I know there's D&D stuff.
Right. Should contact D20, see if they can fix it next update. But yeah, I'd love to do, I'd love to play D&D.
Especially
Stream
on
D&D.
stream, I think that would be a killer.
Dude. Oh yeah, Roll20 absolutely works. There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh yeah, it's just you'd get stuck with the audience just viewing a screen basically.
Yeah, Tabletop Sim might be a little bit more. Oh, I haven't even reinstalled Tabletop Sim since my hard drive crapped out. The board doesn't change because the DM controls it. Yeah, I know.
We'd have to find a D&D mod. Simple D&D setup. Well, boom, right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of D&D mods, especially for different like terrains and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, bunch of stuff is downloading, so my tabletop sim is freaking the fuck out. There it goes. I would just have to. We would just have. You and me would have to spend a ton of time.
Right, setting it up. What else would you be watching? No, D&D isn't exactly known for supplying graphics. Yeah, but if there's at least an interesting thing where people can see like the characters moving on the board in like a 3D space, it might be better than since we don't intend to play like live in person.
Yeah. Even though our live in person really just involves us lounging around on couches.
Yeah, but none of us
Playing
want to show
D&D
our
and yelling
faces.
at
That's the thing.
Yeah. Man, this is taking a while to load. Ooh, makes me feel old. It's loading like how I wake up in the morning. The other thing with tabletop sim, you can do it in Roll20 as well, as you can whisper other players,
Right.
which is really handy for like the DM.
All by dream masks. like the... Shut up. Freaking dream.
I'll wear Halloween masks when we have to show our faces.
Workshop. So I have a D&D and or Pathfinder board.
Workshop that page, yeah.
That you can import stuff into. Hey, Tabletop Sim, what are you doing? Crashing. That's what you're doing. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Oh yeah, this works really well because you have all the stuff on here that...
Okay, close.
We're struggling. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, because it tried to open the menu like 6 times.
Okay. Change color. Game Master. Okay. Time of day table.
So I'll point down under the table and only have the arms of the players visible. See, the thing is, we play in like where we play is like couches around a coffee table with a TV, so that wouldn't work necessarily either. Here, let me. This is the playmat that I have installed on Tabletop Sim. 6 character sheets, and then a little area that I'm assuming only the DM can view.
Okay, I want to point out the one that I have has a vape in the DM area.
I was gonna say there's 2.
There is?
Red and blue one. Oh, because they do smoke effects.
I would have never thought of that.
Map of Galorian circa 4712 AR. This is interesting.
Whoa.
Eye of a Bendigo.
Can I search? Or can I just pull?
Okay, but point it down to the coffee table. Everyone mic'd up. Well, yeah. The issue with that is we don't ever really like put food on the coffee table, and then it's like, oh, combat. Okay, now let me draw in marker on this board.
Yeah.
On this mat. How easy is it to import custom maps into this?
I believe it's fairly easy. Hold on, let me flip back to the stream. Oh, see, that's dope. What you have right there.
See, yeah, look at this whole setup. 6 character sheets. Here's the 2 vapes. Um, yeah, you can just pull that out.
Here. I'm gonna start streaming on mine. Not turn on camera.
I rolled an
Hit
18.
go live. Okay, I'm live with mine.
Okay. But yeah, this would be an interesting thing. I wanna see if I can reach out to a couple of other YouTubers.
Like the cool thing about mine is I can like change the daytime settings.
What are you? Oh, are you doing it on Discord? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me back to the podcast. I was like looking on YouTube. I'm like, you're not streaming. Oh, okay. This is interesting.
Hey, that's a pretty good roll. But yeah, all the player stuff over here, you get.
Bring this back over. He isn't live. He lied. Yeah, I honestly went straight to YouTube. I'm like, I don't see you live streaming. I love the arrow in the chair back there.
See, I got my vape over here. I don't know how to make it.
I like this one a lot.
And like combat, we have trackers, gold, bag of effects, bag, fire, light spheres, figures.
Eli's using pre-grammed dice.
There's a bunch of
Ooh.
condition cards. I can put creatures over here. Nature elements, props, building walls. And then each player has their own little dedicated area.
So that gives you the opportunity to hop in and set up the board prior to everybody else joining. Okay, I think I like yours better. I like the look of yours better. Gee, walls. Wow. Wow. You just roll a 1 and a 20.
Because it's a 20 sided die.
Oh, okay. I didn't see him. I just saw the 1 and the 20 that you rolled. I didn't see the other dice. I didn't realize that all of the options on both dice were just the 1.
Oh. Oh, lordy. Humans.
Oh.
Search.
What? Okay, this is dope. This is freaking dope. I love this.
That's a whole lot of... And then you have all the character pieces that you can use down here, I'm going to assume. Search. Greenskins. Dwarves, dark elves, drag... Hold on. Search.
Oh.
Hey, let me select you. Yeah, well.
Whoa, it like actually moves!
It has moves!
What?
Oh, this one doesn't move.
Oh, the other one's cooler.
I play with my little minis. This is dope. I'm gonna get ya.
That's great. Wait, click on the dragon, the moving one. Attack.
Attack. Oh, die. Oh.
Oh, that's funny. Wonder if you can edit these models for custom content. Probably.
Search. Okay.
Oh, so you can give people cards for the feats they have.
Yep. Feats. Oh. Creatures by book, by type, spell and features. Oh, dude, this has a lot of stuff in it.
I like the one you
Spell
downloaded.
cards. I
That's really cool,
downloaded this
actually.
forever ago. All spells from every single edition. Okay.
One thing you're worried about is potential NSFW content coming up in the search unexpected. Why would there be NSFW?
This is really cool. I would just have to figure out how to use these. Because you can select it and roll.
Well, I'm saying where would the search thing that you're saying would NSFW pop up? Are you talking about like in the workshop? Because we could do all of that pre-stream.
Okay.
But all right, well, that is certainly an interesting thing for us to discuss. You look for a model to put it in, it pops up. YouTube doesn't like that. Well, yeah, I'm sure we could get all of that stuff before streaming though, where we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, this is. Hold on. I like this now. Now that I've actually looked at it, main menu. Yeah, I'm. Oh man. Big stretch. Yeah, and then we would just have to get everybody else into. That's the thing. Is like Roll20's free, where
Tabletop
tabletop's
isn't. Right. Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing. We can discuss that more. See how we want to do it.
because I have a feeling Tyler would absolutely join in.
Yeah, probably. He said he'd be interested in playing D&D. He just wouldn't know anything about it. I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
You think any? Well, other than me, who else knows anything about D&D in our group?
Thanks.
Okay, listen here. I just want to point out we had a conversation where I was talking up. This is at our last D&D night. We were talking about the first supplement ever put out for D&D. It's called The Village of Hamlet.
Yes.
And you brought up something, and I was like, "Oh, you mean this book?" Which was
Yeah,
against
you were like it was like the cult of the reptile god.
ag- no, against the cult of the reptile god. And you're like, "Well, now I have to look it up." And you looked it up, and you were like, "You're right. How did you know that?" I have so many rules memorized for D&D for no reason at all.
Oh, group just pointed out you might be able to get the Gengar dice in tabletop.
Sorry to break it to the D&D group. You guys can just call me in through tabletop. Oh,
But all right, well, unfortunately, I do have to work today, so nerd. Thank you,
yeah,
group.
yeah.
I hope I performed your comment adequately. But unfortunately, yes, I do need to work today. So that's going to be all we got for Bardic Blunders this time.
Bullshit. Where's your quote?
Tally ho.
No, no, no. Get your quote out here, mother.
um,
Yeah, get running.
what's your quote?
Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. C.S. Lewis.
All right.
How about this one? I ask not for a lighter burden, but for broader shoulders. Where's your quote at, bud?
Uh, 11 out of 13 voice acting. Thank you, group. Um, Nobody in football should be called a genius. A genius is a guy like Norman Einstein, Joe Theismann, former quarterback. Or alternatively,
Okay.
on one player commenting on his quarterbacks, Terry Bradshaw's brain power, he couldn't spell cat if you spotted him the C and the T.
Oh boy.
All right. That's all we got for today, everybody.
That's
Thank you
all,
so
folks.
much for watching. Catch you tomorrow for something. I don't know what we're streaming tomorrow.
Are we not doing Stardew tomorrow?
I mean, we. Oh, I guess yeah. If we're not doing D&D, we do have time for Stardew. So, catch you all for Stardew tomorrow, everybody. Tally ho.
Peace. Tally ho. Yeah, that's right. Wrong one.